I did chapter 19. A body was found at Chapel Hill, about like a mile away. And Adam was a young journalist, and he knew the person that was found from reporting because she was the student body president. So he didn't know if he should report on the story because of his friendship to Carson, but he ended up reporting anyways. And as the story goes on, the information was moving really quickly, and people wanted to get the information out and didn't really verify information, so there was just very big accusations that were going back and forth. And it said in the story that he had a very short amount of time to like fact check everything, so it was just moving at a really fast pace. And then there was a vigil at the school, and Adam did the best to respect the people and their mourning, so he sat back from the group and whispered into his microphone, and people got so mad when the story broke. But he knew his rights, and he stood his ground on what he could film and what he couldn't film, and he felt like he had the right to be there. So in the end, he thinks he made the right decision. He says it was the hardest decision he's ever made to date, but he's thinks he made the right decision and kept it professional. Question 1 asks, what do you think about this practice? Would you feel comfortable appearing on a talk show about a story you wrote? I would be comfortable in like going on a talk show about a story I wrote on certain circumstances, though. I would feel like I'd be okay to say I'm not going to comment on that. I will comment on certain things, not other things, just because my personal opinion might be different than my story, and I can't get those lines blurred. I think that's ethically not okay. I gotta stick to the facts, even if I may not agree with the facts. So would it be okay to state opinions on the show that have not been reflected in your reporting? I don't think so. I think you should stick to the facts, stick to what is written and what is not, and not put yourself in a pickle in a way. Okay, number 2 is a little tricky just because I don't have my own blog. I mean, I guess if you could say Instagram is a blog, my personal blog, but it says, is it appropriate for a reporter to have his or her own blog? If so, can the reporter write different sorts of things on a personal blog than on a blog hosted on his or her employer's site? I think there's a difference between a personal blog and a professional blog. If it's a personal blog, that's your personal business, that's your personal morals and what you think. But I feel like it gets tricky when people recognize you on your personal blog and be like, wait, I know this person from so-and-so organization, and I don't like what he or she had to say on their personal blog. So I think you have to be careful with what you say on both, but I think your personal and professional can be separate. You always have to keep your organization and your job in mind. Personally, to me, when I think of that, I will never post something that can defame my organization I work for or myself. So I think it's okay to have a personal blog, just keep it to a minimum of what you say. Number 3 asks, do you think news consumers understand the nature of breaking news and the way information from reliable sources can change? I think so. I would hope so. When it's a case like this, it's changing so fast, and you hear one thing 1 minute and you hear another minute. I feel like you just have to understand like they're getting information when they're given information. So they're giving it to us as fast as they're receiving it. So you have to put it into perspective of, okay, like let's hold on, like it might not be the best information yet because they got it as quick as we got it, but I think we should all be aware of the information and how fast it's coming to them and how fast they have to produce it to come out, because us as a consumers want the information so fast. It talks about a smartphone can tweet any kind of unverified information, and what is the role of the trained journalist? Fact check it. Twitter, to me, I'm not a big fan of Twitter just because I feel like people just say things and people believe them when it's not real. Some information, some is real. You know, credible news sites and stuff like that, they're saying that's obviously real, but I feel like people kind of go down a rabbit hole with their friends saying certain things or friends of friends saying things. So I think as a trained journalist, you just have to hold on, figure out where it came from, if the person that said it, if that's the first person that said it, or has it gone down the line. So I think you just have to hold on, figure it out, and then release it in the correct way. Number 4 says, do you believe that objectivity in reporting is attainable? I think so. Like I said before, like, that's your work and you might not agree with the facts, but the facts are the facts, and as a reporter, you're paid to give facts. So I feel like objectivity is attainable. I would say it's desirable. I feel like now in today's society, everything's slanted, and I wish that we could just get the facts. I know that's difficult because everyone thinks a certain way and everyone's going to write a certain way because of the way they think, but I wish we could just hear the facts and then then make our own decision on things. But I do think it's attainable and desirable, in my personal opinion. Relating this back to my life, definitely for question 4, like, brought out a good point, because I feel like when you are working and in a big girl job, I feel like you sometimes have to put your personal feelings and personal beliefs aside to get the job done, and trying not to be emotional and just get the job done. Put feelings aside and like be a big girl, like be a big person and overcome fears. And I think it's a really good thing to learn from Adam, because he had a tragedy in his life, but he turned it into something that he felt like he could help in a way, and I feel like that's a good thing to think of, just to man up and do what you think is right.